12 children were murdered during the bloody rampage at Columbine High. One of them is quickly becoming a national symbol to people of faith because of the role religion played in her life and in her final moments on earth. With that story, here's ABC News religion correspondent Peggy Waymeyer.
On Sunday, the congregation of West Bowles Community Church spent the day mourning the death of 17-year-old Cassie Bernall, even as they rejoiced in her life.
We now want you to celebrate with us as we show you a tribute to Cassie.
This is where Cassie spent most of her free time. This is where she found her way back from her life as a dark, suicidal, and violence-prone teen. And this is where her death has inspired other teenagers to find meaning in what many have been quick to label a senseless tragedy.
You really can't live without Christ. It's like impossible to really have a true life without him.
These teenagers, most of them survivors of the mayhem at Columbine High, believe Cassie is a modern-day martyr, a young woman whose faith in God was so strong that even as death loomed over her in the high school library, she refused to renounce her faith.
Yes, I believe. The gunman came to Cassie and said, "Do you believe in God?" And she said, "Yes." Why would they ask her that? Because they knew. And they killed her.
But Cassie's road from troubled teen to committed Christian was anything but straight and narrow. As a little girl, her parents, Brad and Misty, remember a child who always wore a smile.
Cassie was just such a cute little girl, and she loved to be with other kids, and she just gregarious kind of personality.
But as she got older, the picture of a bright, smiling girl began to fade, and a darker, more troubled teen emerged. By the time Cassie entered 9th grade, her parents were concerned.
When did you first notice that Cassie was going from mommy and daddy's little girl to a girl who was making some decisions that concerned you?
I had that gut feeling that something was wrong, and I couldn't pinpoint it, but I just knew something was wrong, and I didn't feel like either of us had any kind of connection with her.
So Misty decided to search her daughter's room, where she found hidden letters from a close friend, letters Cassie's parents say shocked them.
I had never seen anything like this before. I could not speak.
Cassie's parents are reluctant to talk about those letters, other than to say they involve detailed descriptions of violent acts.
He was talking about dangerous things.
They're talking about things that they could do to parents that could just be tragic.
Cassie was also developing an interest in witchcraft as well as drugs and alcohol. Brad and Misty were living what many others spent last week debating, how to deal with a rebellious, possibly dangerous teen. The Bernalls decided the only way to stop their daughter from making more bad decisions was to make good decisions for her.
It's the hardest thing a parent will ever do, and it's to put your foot down and say it stops right here.
Brad and Misty changed Cassie's school. They began regularly searching her room and backpack, and they forced her to cut off all contact with everyone she had hung out with, including her best friend.
For a long time, all she could do was youth group stuff.
At church.
That was it.
It's hard because you know you're taking the chance of driving your child further away from you, because they hate you for that.
As a parent, I struggled with that feeling of betrayal. This child that you loved with all your being was telling you that she hated you. But we knew what we felt was best for her and what we felt we had to do.
Yeah.
Church worked. Cassie's parents say their daughter's dramatic turnaround happened one weekend when they allowed her to go away on a church youth retreat. There, Cassie says she found God and everything changed.
When she left, she was this gloomy, head down, say nothing.
No hope.
When she came back, her eyes were open and bright. She was bouncy and just excited about what had happened to her, and was just so excited to tell us. And it's like she was in a dark room and somebody turned the light on and she saw the beauty that was surrounding her.
She looked at me in the eye and she said, "Mom, I've changed. I've totally changed. I know you're not going to believe it, but I'll prove it to you.
It was this Cassie, the one who had found her way back from a life teetering on the edge, who was reading Shakespeare in the Columbine Library last Tuesday. There, she would find her life in the hands of two boys hell-bent on their path of violence and death. A teacher's call to 911 captured the terror confronting everyone in that room. Cassie was right in the middle of it.
I just want you to stay in the line with me. We need to know what's going on. Okay. Okay? I am on the floor. Okay. You've got the kids there? Library. And I've got every student in this library on the floor. You better stay on the floor. Is there any way you can lock the doors? Smoke is coming in from out there, and I'm looking. Okay. The gun is right outside the library door. Okay? I don't think I'm going to go out there. Okay. You're in Columbine High School.
Soon after the attack, Brad and Misty learned that their 15-year-old son, Chris, was okay, but there was no word on Cassie.
You pray that your child's not on the injured list, and then pretty soon you start praying, Lord, if she's injured, we'll take care of her. And you almost start praying she's one of the injured instead of one of the missing.
As the day dragged on and the last of the safe and injured students exited the school, Brad and Misty tried to accept what was becoming increasingly clear. Their daughter was dead, but with no official word, they could do nothing but wait in agony.
I found those hours of waiting to be the most difficult thing. I didn't sleep that night because every time I closed my eyes, I imagined her in the library and what she looked like, and if she was cold, you know, or is somebody taking care of her?
It was terrible to know that she was on the other side of the fence and there was nothing we could do. I could see into the library windows from my backyard. I saw the ATF walking around up there, and I knew Cassie was in there somewhere.
It wasn't just identifying her that was important to me. It was important to me that someone, even though I knew in my heart Cassie wasn't there, it's a mom thing where you want to keep your babies warm and you want to comfort them and hold them, and just to have someone finally starting to maybe take care of her.
But even as they waited for their daughter's body to be returned to them, Brad and Misty were already gathering strength from the remarkable details about her last moments. It was Cassie's final words that now comfort her parents.
When that young man asked Cassie if she believed in God, she boldly said yes, and he shot and killed her.
She probably knew what he wanted her to say. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to stand up to somebody and say what you believe, knowing it could get you in trouble.
We looked at each other and we said, would I have done that? I might have begged for my life. And she didn't. She may have been 17, but she's probably a better woman than I will ever be.
Misty finds peace recalling a conversation she recently had with Cassie, which eerily foreshadowed the events of last week.
I don't know how we got on the topic, but Cassie said to me, Mom, it would be okay if I died. She said, I'd be in a better place, and you know where I'd be. And
while the Bernalls' faith tells them Cassie is with God in heaven, it doesn't stop the pain of knowing they will never see her again in this life.
You wake up crying. I hope one I can wake up in the morning and not cry. But I said to Brad, I wondered how they could do this. Why? And why? Why did they kill our baby girl? Why did they do that? Why?
That's what everyone wants to know.
How could they do that? It's not anger, it's grief.
Jesus has paid the price, 'cause he wants you to go.
Today's funeral provided a chance for Cassie to spend a final day at the place she loved best, in church, surrounded by her family and friends.
Jesus fed 5,000 with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. But Cassie fed the world with one word, yes.
It is that one word, yes, that helps Cassie's parents know that in the battle that raged in that library between the boy with his gun and their daughter with her faith, Cassie was victorious.
She knew where he was coming from, and she was saying that you can't defeat me, you can't really kill me, you can take my body away, but you can't kill me. I'm gonna live in heaven forever. Worry about your kids when you don't know where they're at. You don't know where they're at. But we know where Cassie is.
All I've got, all I am, all my dreams, and all my plans. I'm holding back, holding nothing back from you. All I've got, all I am, all my dreams, and all my plans. I'm holding back, holding nothing back from you.
I think that the way I'm advancing the kingdom is just being a loyal friend and a good example to non-believers and also Christians. Just trying to not contradict myself and get rid of all hypocrisy and just to live for Christ.
All I've got, all I am, all my dreams, and all my plans. I'm holding back, I'm holding nothing back from you. Lord, whatever it takes, I trust you completely. I'm here in your hands. If you need to break me, all I've got, all I am, all my dreams, all my plans. I'm holding back, I'm holding nothing back from you. All I've got, all I am, and all my dreams, and all my plans. I'm holding